Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. A little bit later than usual. And welcome if you've never joined me on this channel before. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. Please hit that great big subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. Hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I post a new video. Hi, Michael. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as I'm going through it if you like it. Would be much appreciated. So you might have known if you've been following me. So did you get your account back? I can have it back if I want to, Michael. So yeah, I'm going to switch you around back. I can have it back if I want to, Michael. So yeah, I'm going to switch you around to the email that I got from them. So in the bottom bit, so that's the top bit from them. This is what I wrote, which you might not be able to see everything. But basically, I don't think I'm going to have to just like read it. So basically, I put dating profile report. That's what I put in the subject. I put dating profile report. That's what I put in the subject title, because I know when I've put something in capitals before, like a subject's in capitals, it's flagged up on a system for a company that it's a spam. So I didn't put the subject in capital letters. I just put dating profile report. So I have to thank David, who's in one of my groups. He's in my asexual friends group on Facebook, because he said there must be some way of contacting them. And I was like, well, I can't find anything. And then I managed to find this address for them that's up at the top, which is to do with reporting a fake profile, or, you know, anything with nudes in or anything bad. And all that, but I needed to report my own profile for the opposite reason, that mine had been taken down, mine had been deleted. So I had to report my own profile, but for possible hacking. So this is what I did. I sort of did reverse psychology. This is the only email address I can find for you. I wanted to report to you that I am concerned my own dating profile may have been hacked. I knew it hadn't really. I knew they just deleted it, but I just put that, so I'm being polite. I cannot get into my account and I cannot reset the password. My username, password and email address are all correct. This is the email address I used, and I still have emails from you saying on the morning of the 14th, saying that I have unread messages on there. I filled out the profile info as per your request. I'm an asexual girl in sexual orientation, so lack sexual attraction, but desire a romantic relationship with a guy, and put in my profile that I was looking for my super romantic soulmate without sex. I had a head and shoulders shot photo with no skin revealed, and my profile explained I just loved kissing and romance but no sex, and what hobbies and interests I had, and about my personality. So I am not interested in sexual nudity. I did not break any rules as far as I know. How can I get my account back into my account again, please? Hasn't been hacked. My username was writer Sandra. Thanks, Sandra. And so, so this was their reply that I got back in the early hours of this morning. Hello, thank you for taking the time to email plentyoffish.com, POF.com. For the safety of our users, we have an automated system in place which flags suspicious activity on Plenty of Fish. Regrettably, your account was mistakenly flagged by the system and deleted. We apologise for this for the inconvenience. We have reviewed your account and you will be able to sign up for a new account successfully. Please wait 2 to 3 hours before trying to create a new account again. Our system needs time to ensure you do not get flagged again. We appreciate your patronage and hope you register a new account with Plenty of Fish. Regards, James, POF team, POF.com. So that means I can now go ahead and create another account. Now, I was looking online to find out, you know, what credentials I can use, because this is a email I don't really use for anything that important. So do you know what I mean? I use it for important stuff, but important stuff that's not so important, if you know what I mean. It's like what I use for if I'm getting emails that I know I'm going to be spammed. I just use it because I know that there's going to be some tons of email coming, basically. So I use it for like dating and stuff like that, because I'm not using it for my business stuff. So if anyone's trying to get hold of me on this email address, if they are watching this video and is trying to do business with me, just forget it, because I'm not interested in this email for business stuff. That's not what I do it for. I do put it through for business, but I don't hardly ever read it. So, you know what I mean? I use it to get what I want to get. That's like, if there's a free ebook, I use it to get a free ebook, and then I know people are just going to be messaging me constantly about other stuff. And, you know, I do read some of it, but most of it I don't anymore because I've got a life, you know. So, yeah, so will I be going back on Plenty of Fish? I think maybe at some point I probably will. At the moment, I've got quite a lot on, and I want to kind of finish what I'm doing. But, you know, I am tempted. I was getting on the really, really well with Plenty of Fish. People need to be strategic about, I was very strategic about what I was doing, and people need to be strategic about what they're doing on there. And I think a lot of the reason why they're failing is because they've got no strategy when they're going on there, just sticking at, you know, the asexual people I'm talking about. So since I've been talking about plentyoffish.com, I found out that quite a lot of asexuals in my groups are coming up that they've been on there or tried it, you know. And one of the guys in one of my groups called Adam, he's actually in the Grey A and Demi group, dating group. He said that he tried Plenty of Fish, waste of time, got nowhere, hardly got any emails. But I wasn't like that at all. I was getting like 3 messages at once. Like, you know what I mean? And every day I was getting messages from foreign guys that I actually found attractive, you know? And I go on the asexual dating site, seriously, and I'm just not really attracted to anyone on there. There's a few people that are foreign in the UK, but I've pretty much messaged all of them, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? It's the same sort of people. And so, you know, I'm not going to get what I want out of asexual dating sites unless anyone turns up new on those sites. Do you know what I mean? That actually likes me back. So it's a bit sad, really. But yeah, it's 4 years, you know, I've been on there. So I'm still going to be on there. I was still on there today, yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Do you think women get more results on dating sites? No. I wouldn't say so, personally. I don't think it's to do with men or women. I think it's to do with attitude, strategy, intention, determination. That's what I personally think it is. But, you know, as I'm not a bloke, Michael, it's very hard for me to answer that. I statistically don't know what the answer is, whether women, you know, do better on them. I've seen all the struggles on the asexuality.com website. So on an asexual website, I would say that they have like, so what's the difference between your experience on that site? So basically, the difference between my experience and the other people's experience, right? So basically, I actually enjoyed the experience overall. No one, not one single person criticised my asexuality or questioned it or said anything about it to me. They just took it as absolutely what I was saying. That it was like, you know, like, it was almost like I was in an asexual site with the respect I got, but yet it wasn't. So the people that I see on my Facebook that said with Plenty of Fish, right, they said that basically they'd have problems with people not, well, basically having, you know, like not agreeing with asexuality, not believing them, or being rude to them about it, or, you know, messaging them not nice things, or, you know, just basically saying it's not true, they're not asexual, or, you know, being nasty about the whole asexual thing. But with me, I had nothing like that. Not one single person said anything bad about asexuality. They didn't even really talk about it with me. In fact, you know, that's kind of can be a red flag in itself that they're not actually discussing it with me. Do you know what I mean? But one guy, he did. He told me about that he'd have sex, but only if his partner wanted it, but that he would basically want other things like oral sex and masturbation. So he was actually up for discussing intimate stuff, which he was a Indian guy, actually, one of the guys that messaged me back. So he did actually message me back, and in his profile he put he was looking for a friend, rather, you know, and I said, why are you looking for a friend and not a life partner? He said, well, in order to be a good life partner, you've got to be a good friend, which I agreed with. So, you know, he was up to actually negotiation, which was, I think, a really good result, considering I'd only been on that site for I don't even know how long it was for. I mean, it seemed like forever I was on there because I spent a long time on there, you know. But I spent like 4.5 hours one night just trying to find some guys and go all through their profiles. And I'm very strategic. So basically what I do is I go on there, I go for the ethnicity I want, I go for the demographic I want, I go for the you know, the person's physique that I want, I go for obviously the country I want, age that I want, and I go and I do them in sections. So I go for my top, you know, my very favorite, what I'm looking for, like, you know, like high, you know, like thin guy, you know, like in 21 to 24, for example, lives within 35 miles of where I live, you know, and I'll just filter Indian guys, and I'll filter all those people. So I literally narrow it down to the people that I'm really interested in. And then obviously if I can't find anyone suitable, or that I think there's, you know, if I find people that I'm interested in, I look at their profile and then message them something about their profile. And I tend to go for the ones that you can filter, which are in serious relationship. You're looking for a serious, not in a serious relationship, looking for a serious relationship. So there's filters you can use on there for what they're looking for, like whether they're just looking for someone to date, whether they're just looking for someone casually, you know, for a bit of fun. And you can filter them. And two of the filters on there, one of them is for looking for a serious relationship, and the other one is I'm doing everything I can to get a relationship. So those are the two filters I want. Those are like the yeses, you know. Those are what people I want on there. I want people that are serious, not people that are time wasters. But you'd be surprised how many sexual people on there, sexual guys obviously, because I'm only looking at the guys, have the same sort of problems that we do. You know, in their profile, they're like, please, no time wasters. Please, I don't want a pen pal. I want, you know, a serious relationship. You know, if you're not going to meet up with me, you just want to talk to me online, don't bother wasting my time. And these are the things they're coming up with, you know, and I get their frustrations. It's really interesting to see that that sexuals have the same sort of frustrations that asexuals do, but for different reasons, you know. But, you know, you would have thought with all the sex they want, people being so sex orientated, that more people would be wanting to hook up, as they call it. But no, a lot of people, they don't seem to, I think it's to do with the women, obviously, because I'm looking at the men's profiles and they're saying this about other women contacted them, I presume, you know? And so they're having the same problems as us. They're having basically people that just want pen pals, people that want to add them to Snapchat or WhatsApp and just keep them as on long distance online friends, basically, and just, you know, and these guys want serious committed relationships, some of them. Like, there was one Indian guy and he's been on there for 2 years, you know, and I know if I go back on there again, most of the guys that are on there before, even though I've not been on there for 4 or 5 days, they'll still be on there. They'll still be on there for years, some of those guys, you know. They have the same sort of problems as we do a lot of the time. But the trouble is with today and dating and society, it's this takeaway, throwaway culture, or this switch off culture, meaning that people don't want to work hard for a relationship anymore. They just see people online, they want to chat to them, it's instant gratification. I mean, even I was getting dopamine hits by it. I'm not going to lie to you. I was going on there and I was getting a thrill out of speaking to all these people. I'm like, whoa, this is great, you know. I was enjoying it. I was getting addicted to it, actually, which is another bad thing. You know, it's very, very addictive. It's very like adrenaline rush. When I'm getting, like, just imagine I've been on asexual dating sites for 4 years. And I don't get hardly any messages. Like, I do get a message from my friend on one of them called Andy. He's amazing. So I do get that. So that is really nice. And when I get a message from him, it's like, oh, and he writes me really long messages, actually. It does take me a while to reply back to him, so I can't reply every day. But, like when someone messages you, just those little messages like, hey, how are you? How's your day? You know, and you're getting backwards and forwards messages and you get little bits. I mean, it's no good for a long distance. It's not good for an actual serious committed relationship. Just little bits of information here and there, how you're doing. It's not really going to get you very far in the relationship terms, like serious committed relationship, isn't it? But, you know, I've been on asexual dating sites for 4 years, and within 4 days of being on there or whatever, I'm getting all these messages from younger foreign guys, some of them in the age group I want, you know, super attractive, some of them like professional guys, business guys, got their own business on there, you know, they're on there saying they've got their own business, they're really intelligent, and, you know, I'm finding the type of guys in terms of some of their personality traits that I really want, you know, and that's why I like being on that site, and that's why I probably will definitely, well, you can tell really I want to be back on there, because I know that I can get more of the sort of personality traits that I'm looking for. But I can't, you know, it's hard. It's going to be nearly impossible, but not impossible, to get an asexual on, because if people are in my groups and they're already telling me I'm on that site, it means there are asexuals on that site, and I just have to blimmin' find them. But I need a foreign guy, ideally in his 20s, that's in the UK, and I need to find him, you know. And I'm not desperate as in I need a guy, because I'm quite well looked after, you know, I'm quite well looked after by myself. I live on my own. I've lived on my own for absolutely years. I absolutely adore living on my own. I don't need a guy to live with me. Don't want to cook and clean for a guy, you know. I just want to enjoy each other's companies and have a lifelong committed partnership that's a very soulmate focused partnership, you know. But I need an intelligent guy for me. And I go on the asexual dating sites. I'm not kidding you. I mean, especially British guys, they just looking at them just is not aesthetically attractive for me. It's just like looking at people that are just, you know, like I'm very attractive to quite a lot of guys, but I'm probably ugly to some people who don't like my look. And the guys that are on there, a lot of them, they're quite ugly to me because I don't like their look. It's you know, obviously they might have lovely personalities. I'm just talking about aesthetics here. But I cannot be with someone I'm not aesthetically attracted to. And you know, it's really difficult for me to say that because obviously I don't think, you know, I don't think looks should matter in the sense of, you know, it's a bit shallow to just like someone for looks, but I don't just like someone for looks. It's like I just need them to look attractive to me. But personality is super important. If I've got a guy who's super attractive, but he's an asshole, excuse my language, in personality, I don't want to be near him, you know? It's like, go away. Go some other woman who likes a guy like you because I don't want you, you know? So personality is super important to me as well. And I can be attracted to someone the more I spend time with them if I like their personality, even if I'm not that so keen on their looks to begin with. That can happen on rare occasions, but I still wouldn't say it's to the extent of like, whoa, you know, if I see someone's aesthetically attractive, I know I can kiss him. And kissing is like a hobby to me in a relationship. It's like a must-have. So when people must need their sex in sexual relationships, I must need my kissing in my asexual relationship. I couldn't be with someone who was starving me of the kissing affection that I need, you see? So I do get where sexuals are coming from when they do need sex. I do get that craving, urge, or want that they need. I do get it as in understand it because I need that with kissing, but I don't need that with the sex. In fact, I just want an asexual guy that totally loves kissing as much as I do, but without any problems. I'm even going to remotely think he's going to want to have sex with me. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want that problem. I don't want that hassle. And that's the problem with being on that dating website that, you know, I don't want to have to compromise myself like that because it's not good for me. It's not good for my health. I mean, you know, even if you compromise yourself sometimes, you know, the next time they want it, they'll just be wanting it all the time. And it'll just be like, please, I just want to relax. You know, I don't want to touch your bit tonight. Thanks very much. Do you know what I mean? It might be like, even if you decided to do a handful, it sounds really rude, of times for them, you know, if you could actually push yourself to do that psychologically. But then it's like, you know, I won't want to do that very much. I just want to come home and chill, you know, with them and chat about stuff and watch movies and kiss and cuddle and have a sweet teenager style relationship. You know, they're touching of their whatevers I'm not really that interested in. Do you see what I mean? And saying so, but on that sexual dating site, I got a lot of respect from even the guys that were, you know, that were scantily clad, that were highly sexual. I got respect from those guys as well. I got them speaking to me really politely, really nicely, you know, being really respectful to me. You know, the way they talk to me, they said it's nice to see a lady for once. It's nice to see someone different on the site. It's nice to see someone who's good, you know, which is what they meant by the not into sex, not going after guys for sex. They actually saw that as a really good thing. I mean, I don't know if they actually really understood asexuality, but they understood that it's a good thing that I'm like that, you know, because they got fed up of seeing the same old women that keep flashing their bits or whatever at them wanting sex. But they like it at the same time. Some of them, they love it, but they also like something different. There's a change that's refreshing to actually have a intelligent conversation with backwards and forwards that's not focused on that, you know, and women after them just for sex all the time. So I just had a really positive experience overall with Plenty of Fish, from my point of view of the way they treated me, the way they spoke to me, the way no one questioned my asexuality. They didn't even bat an eyelid that I was not wanting sex. Do you know what I mean? No one even said to me, well, why don't you want sex? What is it about that you don't like? And I've got questions like that from asexuals. I even got an asexual guy, which I was absolutely shocked about, in the UK, foreign guy, but older than me, much older. Ask me, oh, so why don't you like sex? Is it because you've been abused? I mean, that is something that usually sexuals would say to an asexual, not an actual asexual person in and of themselves. I was absolutely gobsmacked. I was thinking, how can you be so rude and nasty and horrible? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just because I said I wouldn't want your hands basically all over my body. I said I don't mind myself touching myself, but not a bloke. Thanks very much. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's like, what part do you not understand about that? Why do I have to have had? I don't understand that. Are you sure they were really asexual? They were on the sexual end of the asexual spectrum, Michael. They were grey asexual, admittedly. Yeah, and they liked touching all over the body and kissing, I think, all over the body. The only thing they didn't like is the actual intercourse. But they are actually a grey asexual, which means they do experience some sexual attraction, I think, or not enough to want to act on it, I think, in his case. But he likes everything else. Yeah. But I couldn't believe it, you know. But I wasn't treated like that on the sexual dating site. I wasn't treated like that at all. I was treated with respect. I was treated like, you know, I just tell them what I don't like and what I do like, and they didn't even bat an eyelid. They didn't question it. They didn't try and change my mind on it. They didn't try to force their opinions down my throat. You know, so I actually had a very good experience as an asexual on a sexual dating site, and that's not what a lot of asexuals say in my groups. And I actually got lots of messages back, and I just put a head and shoulder shot. So I knew if they fancied me and found me attractive, it was literally just based on my face alone. That was it. And there's a section on there called Meet Me, and you have to pay to upgrade to see who wants to meet you, which I didn't pay for, but you get notifications of how many people have clicked they want to meet you. And I had 88 by the end of it. 88 people wanted to see me because they found me attractive just from my facial photograph, with no makeup on, just my natural blonde hair in my blue asexual hoodie, actually, but you couldn't see the rest of it. You could only see the hood. Turn around smiling. That's it. Blonde hair, blue eyes, no makeup, smile. That was what they were attracted to. And I like that. You know, guys are getting attracted to me for my face. And if they scroll through my profile, they'll see all my personality as well. But a lot of those guys, when you do Meet Me, you literally, all you have is a face, and you have to say yes, no, maybe, or really yes, where, hey, definitely. Do you know what I mean? And if you get a definite match and someone else finds you really attractive, then you talk. But I did that with one guy, and as soon as I said I don't want sex, obviously he didn't message me again. Which a lot of them, they message you, and then when you say you don't want sex, they don't. But then you just get on to messaging other guys. And I presume the site would get a bit boring for me probably after a while, because I'd be messaging like guys, and then eventually I'd run out. But there's people joining there all the time, daily, so probably wouldn't so much. But my experience on there, as opposed to that asexual dating site, I feel better on, as in the sense I feel calmer that, you know, no one's going to be after me for sex really on there. And, you know, there's people like me to relate to, and there's a chance of love without any sex whatsoever, and both people will be happy. You don't need to worry like that. So that's the way I feel about asexual dating sites. It's my home. I feel relaxed there. I feel really happy. But actually on Plenty of Fish, I was starting to feel like happy in one sense, but I was starting to get really addicted to it. And that's partly why I'm thinking, Sandra, should you even go back on there? Because it is constant dopamine here. It's like, oh, another guy's messaged you, another guy's messaged you. And I'm getting all these messages from guys that I find attractive, I find intelligent, I like talking to, and could possibly meet in real life, in person, over in the UK, which is something I can't get on asexual dating sites. I mean, I've got 2 foreign asexual friends in the UK. One I've never met in person. I don't think I ever will. Oh, sorry, I've got another one now, but I don't think he doesn't really talk to me, so I think he's only like going to be a meet-up mate. And there's just really one guy who's foreign who talks to me regularly, who's like one of my best friends now, and he's 22 foreign, more attracted to guys, and he's seeing someone at the moment, and, you know, he's not interested in me romantically, but that's what I mean. You know, I can't get very easily an asexual guy for a relationship in the UK, or even to have a date with. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it's just like, you know, it's like I'm seeing that guy, you know, who I met in, I did meet him in Exeter when I was at my friend. I'm seeing that foreign guy. We've switched it because he had exams to Friday. Going out with him Friday night and stuff. I find him very aesthetically attractive, but he's not Indian. He's not my usual type, but I still find him attractive in a classy, intelligent, beautiful looking way, but different to other guys. He looks older. He looks about 33 actually. Whether he or not he is, I don't know, but he's got 3 of his own businesses, so he's super intelligent. You know, this is the type of guy I want, a classy guy who's got his own business, or into IT, into business, you know, got his head screwed on, likes to have a nice time with dancing because he loves dancing, he likes eating out. You know, I've got loads in common with him. He's only sadly staying here for 6 months, so, you know, I've got to look for other guys. But and as far as I know, he's not asexual. But he's okay with about me and him not having sex, so that's cool, just meeting up. So, this is all great, but I just wanted to feed back to you my experience really about, kind of I guess what's the pros and cons with, I was going to actually do a video about pros and cons of being on Plenty of Fish, but I think I've covered quite a lot of it now on this video, because, obviously a con is the majority are sexual. The con is you spend a lot of time on there. The con is you can get addicted to it because it is a dopamine hit. But I mean, if you think I've been starved of messages for 4 years from people, apart from my friend, which is awesome now, I do like that, apart from these last few months I've had my friend messaging me, I've got some other guy friend now on meetup.com that I'm messaging, apart from that, and I have got more friends in person now, asexual friends, so that is fabulous. But online, it's nice to have guys messaging me. It's nice for guys to say, hey, how you doing? Especially foreign guys, because I can't describe how I just feel so much more comfortable in general, talking in dating terms and relationship terms. For foreign guys, I just feel comfortable. I feel at home with them. I kind of even talking to them as friends. I just feel really comfortable and confident, and like I'm always meant to have been with a foreign guy. It's like it feels like it's me in my soul and my personality. I don't know if I was foreign in a previous life or what, but I do wonder sometimes, because I'm like, Sandra, you're so foreign orientated. The energy I get from foreign guys is just incredible a lot of the time. Even through messaging, I can form really close, intimate connections with them quite quickly. I can speak to them really well. I can, but I do have some intimate connections with a couple of my best, male British friends that are asexual. So it's not just with foreign guys, but with foreign guys, I like that aura. I like everything about them. Do you know what I mean? Apart from the sex bit. So yeah, it's and some of them obviously aren't nice in their personality. Some of them are users. I've had a lot of problems, as with guys in other countries wanting sponsorship, wanting a visa to get marriage for visa. I'm not interested in that, just lying to me. And I'm fed up with guys, to be honest, abroad now. I just want to focus on guys in this country, which is why I kind of want to go on Plenty of Fish. So I've got more options. I've got options that I can actually date a sexual guy, but I've got to get used to dating again sexuals when I don't like sex, and it kind of freaks me out sometimes. I get nervous and anxious, which is understandable really, because a lot of them will still be thinking that way. So yeah. So Michael, I hope that's answered your question. I hope it's given you sort of a good insight into what happens for me on there and why it's so different to me to other asexuals. For other asexuals, they're not really getting anywhere with it. They think it's a waste of time, and they're being heavily criticised about their orientation. Whereas with me, I'm having people with respect, politeness, interest, intrigue, conversations, people being attracted just to my face and my profile. And which is all about my personality and what my hobbies and interests are. So I'm getting a lot of goodness out of that. But I just say the major con for me is the addiction. I can see myself getting really addicted to that. It's I'll do some work, then half an hour later, check a message. I'll do some work, then 10 minutes later, check a message. Oh, I haven't checked my messages for a while. Oh, I've got to check my messages again. Oh, some more time's gone by. I'll check my messages. Oh, right, I check them again. Do you know what I mean? Even talking about it, you can see how exhausting it is. And you can see that I'm so distracted by it. But it's kind of it's like a kid when you're in a sweet shop, You go into a sweet shop and perhaps you haven't had any sweets for 3 months. And you go into this sweet shop and all of a sudden you've got your favourite flavours there. Maybe you've got big strawberry gobsuckers are they called? I can't remember. I haven't had sweets for ages. Say they've got these big strawberry sweets and they're your favourite sweets, and you've just got a sweet shop and in front of them you've got all these amazing strawberry sweets, and you just love strawberry sweets, and you haven't ate them for 3 months, and you're starved of strawberry sweets, so you just want to eat them and munch them up and love them. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like when I go on the Plenty of Fish site and I'm getting messages back from foreign guys that it's like that really makes me feel great. It's like me being in the sweet shop, having tons of options. I can have this. Maybe I can have this strawberry sweet and that strawberry sweet, and I can have big strawberry sweets and small strawberry sweets and different varieties, strawberries with vanilla and strawberries with clotted cream. And you know what I mean? It's a bit like that, and it's a bit like I've gone in the sweet shop and all of a sudden I'm let loose in it. And what was once scarce, maybe I could only have one strawberry sweet per 3 months. It's like I'm able to have, like, I don't know, between 3 and 6 strawberry sweets at once. Do you see what I mean? It's very addictive. It's like a sugary addiction, but you're online getting addicted to it. It's like kind of crazy. And it's good though for non-attachment, because it kind of helps you not be so attached to other people, because you think you've got options. And it's good for an abundance mindset. You know, I can just think, well, there's 600 plus Indian guys in the UK alone on this site. So there must be an asexual somewhere amongst those 600 plus Indian guys. I've just got to find them, you know. But then even if I find them, they're not guaranteed to be the same as me. You know, they could be a smoker. I can't stand smoking. Don't want that. You know, they could have tattoos all over them. I don't like tattoos. I don't know if I could put up with tattoos, but I don't like smoking. I don't want a guy who takes drugs. That's a no-no for me. I don't want a guy who does smoking. I couldn't be with a guy who does smoking. You know, with alcohol, I don't drink alcohol, so I prefer someone who doesn't drink alcohol, but I might be able to put up with that. You know, I'm not into sport. I absolutely hate sport, but, you know, my ex did lots of sport. So, well, he didn't do sport. He watched a lot of sport. So I kind of got used to that. You know, so there's things that I could put up with. And especially if I don't live with them, I don't really care what they do in their own place. Obviously, I do care if they have an affair and they're sexual. That's different. But you know, if they're like just watching a ton of sports around their place, I don't care. When I have an orange Oreo chocolate, I eat one piece and then I've eaten the whole bar by the end of the day. Oh, Michael, so you do understand what I mean? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. You have like one little bit, taste of it, and you want the whole lot. That is precisely what I mean. You understand me so well. That's really good. It's really good because you're aromantic and I'm romantic, but you kind of really understand me well sometimes. I'm kind of shocked because you relate your sort of more aromantic experiences to my romantic experiences. And that's kind of really good, isn't it? Yeah, I go really well with you in that reason. Yeah, it's good. It's really cool. So yeah, it's exactly what it's like. It's like, you know, it's like when it's like if you have a big bag of crisps, like if my mum buys me these party crisps sometimes, you know, like the salted ones, the sea salted ones that are handmade. And instead of the party bag, instead of me spreading it over several days, I was good. I spread it over 2 days last time, but usually I'll grab the whole party bag and I'll have finished it in half an hour. Well, probably more like 10 minutes actually. But I do give my dad some if I'm still over there with my parents. I give him some too. I'm thinking, good, you eat some calories too, because I'm just piling on the calories here with eating them, but they're a bit addictive as well. But, you know, it's not good to have addictions. But then it's kind of like I'm thinking to myself, after a while, it might just get boring for me. It might be like, well, you've gone through a lot of the guys now. There's not much there, you know, so you can give it a break now. You don't need to be so pedantic about it. You don't need to be so obsessed with it. You can just be so obsessed with it. You can just back off a bit, relax a bit, because it might just be that new experience, you know, of being in the sweet shop. And after a while, you get so exposed to the sweets, you're like, well, I can have them whenever I want them now, so I don't really need them. Do you see what I mean? So it might just be that effect. It might just be the sweet shop excitement. You can have all this effect, if you know what I mean. And it might not be a real true addiction, because if I wasn't addicted, I would have already created an account by now, to be quite honest with you. Because I've had time, you know, well, I say I've had time. I've been really busy today emailing backwards and forwards on Avon and stuff like that about meetups and threads that I've written in there and all sorts, forum threads, you know. But so I have been busy, but kind of like my mind's more focused on other stuff. But a part of me really wants to go on there as well. But, you know, I'm seeing this guy anyway in Exeter, you know, in my city, starting on Friday night. You know, we're going out dancing and stuff. So I kind of want to see how that goes. And I don't want to get attached to him, though, because he's leaving in 6 months. But I already fancy him aesthetically. And I think he's a, you know, nice person from what I've spoke to him on the phone yesterday. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm thinking, you know, one guy's quite enough for me to deal with at the moment in some ways, you know what I mean? But I know I have to have an abundance mindset and speak to loads of guys. And I probably will go back on there. It might be soon I go back on there. It might be, you know, in a little while's time. I just kind of want to break from it because I want to make sure I'm not addicted to it. You know, I want to prove to myself you're not addicted to it. You don't need to be on it. You can quite happily not be on there. You can stay off there for weeks, months or years. But the thing is I went on there with an intention that I need to find someone, you know, really I need to be registering with all dating sites that are free, you know. I'm not going to pay to go on a dating site where asexuals are, but I don't mind going free, you know. I really need to, you know, I've been on OK Cupid for about 48 hours last time. I couldn't stand it on there, you know. I got messaged all the time from Indian guys as well, predominantly, in their country, like every 3 minutes. They're obviously wanting sex, and they didn't understand asexuality. And on OkCupid, you can put your asexual on there. So that's even more bonkers. On the Plenty of Fish site, that you can't put your asexual, you have to write about it in your profile. They accept it, or they seem like they accept it. They don't question it. On OkCupid, which I went on a long time ago, like I said, for about 48 hours or less, you know, I had people messaging me not understanding asexuality, going, what's that? Why are you like that? So, and then you can put that you're asexual on there. So my experience was actually better on a full sexual site than it was on a site that has asexuality on it, which is kind of crazy, I think. Absolutely bonkers, but there you go. So, you know, in order for me to get my asexual foreign guy that I want, I might have to go and trawl through a lot of sexual sites as well to find him. You know, I mean, I watch dating coaches. I particularly watch one who's really good. I trust him. And he's like 95. This is like a sexual, you know, heterosexual coach, speaking predominantly to heterosexual women. You know, he was saying 95% out in the dating world are rubbish. 95% are a load of rubbish. You know, you've got to sift through all the rubbish to get to one you want. And these people are not necessarily rubbish in their own right. You know, they're good for someone, but they're not good for you. Only 5% will be good for you. And don't forget, we're 1% of that 5%. Do you see our problem? We've got huge problems as asexuals finding someone. Because if 5% are only suitable for the general heterosexual population, there's going to be 1%, not of the whole population, the 1% of that 5%. That's any good for us. That is the problem. So we're 1/5 of a chance of meeting someone, which I suppose 1 in 5 people within that fifth. Not 1 in 5, you know, not 1 in 5 people like in the great wider world. We're 1 in 100 people in the great wider world. Do you know what I mean? But as only 5% is any good, that means we haven't got very many people that are actually suitable for us, but that means we've got to sift through all the rubbish. That means we'll have to go on lots of dates with people, or think about having potential relationships with many different people in our lives to find the right one. It kind of sucks, but that's the way it is, you know. It's a reality of the situation. And I'm glad particularly this particular dating coach tells it like it is and doesn't give rubbish and manipulation techniques or mind games. He's very good in what he says. I trust him a lot. He replied to one of my messages yesterday because I asked him, I said, on my comments, I asked him, I said, there's this foreign guy who I really like. I'm going to be seeing him this Friday. And what happens if down the line we got on well and I wanted a relationship with him? You know, how would I get him to change his mind to stay in this country? Is it possible? Or do I just be the best version of myself, make him feel absolutely amazing when he's with me? And then if he doesn't stay, it's his loss, basically. And the guy replied back, just don't make him staying in this country a goal of yours. Don't do that. So that's really good advice. And now I know for definite I have to look around for other guys and not put my eggs in one basket with this guy who's clearly not going to stay in this country. He's going back to his country because he's got 3 businesses there. He's only in this country to learn English. So there you go. So I hope this has been useful, helpful, insightful. Thank you very much, Michael, for all the really interesting questions and insights. And thanks for understanding me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I really appreciate it. I hope it's been really good. So if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be amazing. And if there's anything else you can think of, any more questions you've got, anything you want to know, please write them in the comments below. I try to reply to everyone in between these videos as well. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe already. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I post a new video. Please give this video a thumbs up so it can get higher up in search engine rankings. Share it with people, anyone who you think may benefit from it. If you know someone who's already on Plenty of Fish and they're not having very good luck on there, you know, give them this video and explain to them, you know, like speak to them and say how I use the filters and that to find out what I really want, you know, on there, to narrow people down to good quality people for me or more appropriate people for me. You know, show them that they can have good, you know, have a nice time on the dating profile despite, you know, the dating site, despite it not being geared towards asexuals, it's geared towards sexuals. You know, Plenty of Fish can be good in some ways. You know, obviously I've had bad experiences, I'll let you know, but I don't want them. So I try not to have them. Anyway, until next time, embrace your quaggy and each other. Thanks for tuning in, Michael. Thanks for everyone else that's tuning in. Really appreciate you being here, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye. Thanks for the question.